guys, and welcome to another video. This one is less about gameplay and more about how I play. I get requests quite a bit, actually more recently, that people say they're burned out. They feel like they don't have anywhere to go, or they're just tired of the game in general, and that happens. And sometimes it's just, the natural progression of things, and it's time to move on. But if you are someone like me and who really likes this game, you're going to try to do a bunch of things to keep your interest in the game without having to, do anything. And I'm going to talk about a few of the things that I specifically do as a game player to make sure that I can continue to enjoy a game for as long as possible. The first thing I do, and this isn't for everybody, is I make the game as difficult as possible for myself. Now, again, this isn't going to be everybody's first choice. It might not be a choice for you at all. And what I mean by make the game difficult is don't pick a build that is the top build. Don't pick a build that you know to be automatically like you look on the board, the damage charts, and you go, that one's the strongest one. That's what I'm going to use. Or you go into YouTube or Reddit, or whatever, Discord, and say, what's the strongest build? What's the fastest, most best build? Doing that, you're robbing yourself of the enjoyment of the actual process of building your character. Again, it's not for everybody, but having a way to limit how quickly you can get through content will let you enjoy the game longer. So I always avoid builds that I know are going to be easy, okay, or let me farm exceptionally fast. So things like minions, typically in these games, are very, very strong and allow you to get through content very easy in most cases. So I avoid minion build. I avoid whirlwind or any other kind of build that you can move while you're attacking. Having to stop every little bit to attack things limits how quickly you're getting through maps, and when it comes right down to it, if your only goal is to get through the maps as quickly as possible, then you're not enjoying the actual process. You just want the loot, and that's going to end up burning you out early. So that's why I avoid things like whirlwind. Again, I also avoid any build I know to be the best, the highest top tier. So you'll never see me playing the meta unless what I already have as my main character suddenly becomes meta, which will probably never happen. The other things I try to do when it comes to builds is I try to make builds that require me to worry about positioning. So I don't want something that covers the entire screen. So Crescent Slash right now, I've seen a couple players playing, and it covers the entire damn screen. It doesn't matter where you're standing or what you're doing, your character's just doing stuff. And I try to get things with either a small range or a very specific spot, or maybe pierce, where I'm trying to line up multiple enemies to hit at once, so that your gameplay actually matters to the build. Any kind of build where it just blasts the entire screen, to me, it's not a fun thing to do. I want my actions to matter in the game in a way that makes the game fun for me. Anyways, that's what I think. So those are some initial, just talking about builds. I always avoid easy builds that are going to be able to get to the end game content the quickest. Because once you've done the end game content, once you've done the hardest thing, you've done it. You've beat the game. And now you have nothing to do until they release a newer, harder, better thing. Okay, so that's number one. Let's get on to the next thing. Okay. Thing number two I do to make the game, again, little more difficult for myself so that I can enjoy the process longer, so I can take longer to get to that end game content completion, so that I can continue to enjoy the game. And what I do, and again, this isn't for everybody, is I don't use the auction house or any paid services. Um, all those do is speed up your progression to the end game. And once you get to the end game, that's it. You're done. Uh, so I don't use the auction house. I'm effectively a solo self-found player. Not so much on my hardcore character this season because I had a viewer donate a bunch of things to make my build sort of speed things up. But on my main character, I don't really use auction house for just about anything. Occasionally, very occasionally, I will purchase things like um, suffix birth options or prefix removal or vespers. Um, very, very few things. The more that you purchase things, the less effort, the less grinding you need to do. And because of that lack of grinding, you're going to get through the content that much easier. And because of that, you're robbing yourself of that excitement of, oh, wicked, that weapon I finally needed to dropped, rather than just buying the base on the auction house or buying a completed weapon on the auction house. uh you're taking that time to go through that process and enjoy it. Now some people absolutely hate crafting, so this obviously is not going to be for everyone. And certain gear is very, very difficult to get your hands on. Some of the uniques are very hard to get if you're just grinding them yourself. But if you buy them, you're robbing yourself of that, yes, I finally got that fucking shield moment. Yeah, you get a little excited when you get it in a gacha box or something, but you're really taking away the enjoyment, the process of the enjoyment. So I tend to do everything I can in terms of making myself get stuff. Now, obviously, there are tons of different issues here for different people. Some people don't have a lot of time to play, and I feel like if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of time to play, you're probably not going to get burned out on the game anyway. So this probably doesn't apply to you. And again, if you're a person who doesn't have a lot of time to play, so you use gotchas to get some stuff to sort of keep you on pace with everybody else, it's okay. Again, these are just things that I do to keep myself from getting burned out. So there's number 2. Try to limit your use of the auction house. Play solo self-found if you... Okay, number 3. This one, again, isn't for everybody, but it's playing multiple characters. If you feel that your main character is absolutely as maxed out as possible, start a new character. Start a whole new character, a very different style of play, and don't use your main character to farm gear for that second character. Go through the process. Start the game. Don't skip the acts. Go through them. Build the character up as you go. Try not to use overpowered uniques that you already own on your new character that you're playing. One of the things I do is I try to play a main character on standard, a seasonal character, and a hardcore character. Again, you're not going to have time to play all of them to a maximum level, so I might not touch my seasonal character for a week, or I might not touch my hardcore for a while. So when you come back to it, you get that enjoyment of it's a new experience again. And then every season, you can start, new characters and try something different. That build variety is going to help you continue to enjoy the game, at least in my opinion. Again, you're not going to be able to do everything on all the characters, and that's okay as long as you're having fun with the builds themselves, trying new things and seeing how it progresses. At least in my opinion, that's something that helps. Some people don't like playing multiple characters because they feel like they're spreading themselves too thin, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you like just playing the one character, Obviously, option 3 isn't going to be for you. Maybe you're just going to stick with that one character. Maybe you really don't like seasonal because you have to start over. Again, nothing wrong with that. That's totally okay. It's a totally reasonable thing. I personally stopped playing Path of Exile because it was a hard every 3 months. You have to start a brand new character and you just throw your old character out and never use it. So personally, for me, having multiple characters that I could bounce around to, and that character is its own little bubble. It's not I'm playing a main character to grind gear for my second character, and then my second character doesn't actually get played at all. All of my characters get a little bit of playtime, and sometimes I won't touch one of them. Like I said, for like a week or two, I won't touch them. And then when I come back to them to do some stuff, it's fun again. So that's number 3 for me, is trying to play multiple characters as long as you're not doing what I'm going to talk about in number 4. Okay, number 4. Don't force yourself to do things just because you feel you have to. One of the biggest causes of burnouts for players that I've seen anyway is that, oh man, I'm so sick of having to do dailies every day and grind my this and do that. Just don't. Just don't do the things that you feel are becoming a job. This is a game, and in the end, a game is supposed to be enjoyable. I personally love the process of grinding. I like that every day I gotta do certain. Some people don't. So if you feel like doing your dailies or running bounties, or something else is really getting on your nerves, just stop doing it. I know that's easy to say, and some people get mad because they're like, well, yeah, but then I don't get the stuff. You don't have to. It's a game. Yes, your character might not be as strong if you're not forcing those things, or you might fall behind, but who cares what other players are doing? Don't worry about the other players getting farther ahead of you or whatever. Enjoy the game. Just play the game for game's sake. If you don't want to do dailies, don't do them. If you hate running Constellation, who cares that you don't have Zodiac Stone? Who cares that your character's not the absolute most min-maxed thing in the world? I'm someone who plays this game multiple hours every day. Even on my days off when I'm not streaming, I'm still playing multiple hours of this game, and I've been doing that since release, and I'm not burned out because I'm doing these things. And there are times where I will go 2 weeks without touching dailies. Or maybe I decide on a night, you know what, I'm going to do nothing but tier 11 maps tonight. And then I won't do tier 11 maps for weeks. Don't let the game dictate how you enjoy the game. If you don't want to do dailies, don't. If you don't get all of your Rune Master XP, who cares? It's just a game. It's something for fun. You shouldn't be forcing yourself to enjoy it. That's my take on it. That there's days where I don't even I get no Rune Master XP on 2 out of my 3 characters, and I don't even touch them. That's okay. Or well, I guess you can only get 2 different modes. But anyway, or I won't upgrade my gear for like a while. You don't always have to be absolutely pushing every bit of this game to enjoy it. You could take an entire week and just like show up and do some stuff, do some maps. Every once in a while, do those maps that you absolutely hate doing, just so it breaks it up. Maybe if you're not a constellation guy, go do some constellations. Go run some mines. Do things that you don't typically do, even if it's not the most efficient. It's not the best way to get the stuff. Go do it just for the sake of doing it. Because that's what I do, and I feel like that helps me not get burned out on the game. I think there's more. Let's find out in the next section. Okay, number 5. Take a break. If you really honestly feel burned out on the game, but you want to continue enjoying it, you're not like, okay, I've done my time, I've enjoyed the game, I'm moving on. If you're not at that point, take a break. Take Take a day, take a week, go play another game. I know towards the end of last season, I took a couple of weeks off of Undecember. I would pop on and do some dailies and check some things. But for the most part, I wasn't playing it. I went and played the new Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. And I spent some time doing it and speed runs and stuff. And when I came back, I felt reinvigorated to work on this game. Yes, by doing this, there is a chance that you will never come back to this game. That happens. And there's nothing wrong with moving on, guys. It's not a process you should fear. But if it happens, it happens. But at the same time, those breaks, think of it like a vacation. You know, you go to Disneyland and you hang out for a couple weeks and you come back. It makes you feel better. You know, sometimes you just need a break. And as much as I love this game and I want the player base to stay, guys, if you need some time, if you really, really are burned out, go play another game. Go play something different. Don't go play another ARPG. Go play a puzzle game. Go do something very different. Or hell, just take time off of the game in general. Just put it down. The game will be here. Don't have fear of missing out. Just go take some time off. Go enjoy your life, even if it's for a couple of days, and don't think about the game. Don't think about, oh shit, I'm missing out on dailies. Oh, that remaster XP. No, you don't. It's a game. It's fun. Again, yes, there is a chance that if you go play another game, you might never return to this. That's more or less what happened with me in Path of Exile. I enjoyed Path of Exile for a long time. I moved on to another game to break the monotony, and then when I came back, I decided I didn't want to play it anymore. There's always that risk. But if you're at a natural point where you're going to stop playing the game, there's nothing wrong with that. Come on, it's okay. You shouldn't fear that. I find like people, they tend to almost inherently be scared that this game that they've spent all this time at, that they've worked so hard at, that they're going to move on and they're just going to forget about it. But that's life. That's how it works. So don't be scared to take some time off to go play another game. If you come back, you come back. It's that if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back, or if it doesn't come back, it was never yours to begin with. That's how I feel about this. I've taken a few little breaks here and there, but because I enjoy it, I always come back. And taking a little break can really reinvigorate you, re-energize you for the game. I think that's it for the stuff I wanted to talk about in this video. And the overall point here is that it's supposed to feel like a game. It's supposed to feel fun, even if it is grindy. I personally like the grinding process. I like, putting in effort to get places, which is why I try not to take shortcuts. I would never use an exploit because it's robbing me of fun. Some people really enjoy that stuff. I don't. But the point is that the game is supposed to be enjoyable, and hopefully these tips help you continue to enjoy the game as the seasons progress. Because, yeah, sometimes there are longer patches between content updates, or you don't like a current content update. It happens. With that said, guys, I'm going to go hop on stream. I hope you guys have a great day and a great season, and look forward to that update on the 20th, and I'll see you out there.